So the thing is that what do you want to?
Just want to say something.
I'm trying to record a podcast.
I love manga too.
I have to edit that out. Oh, come on, don't do that to me.
It's gonna be awkward, guys. Get ready.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite romantic itty bitty gooey. I can't do this. Hi guys, this is Q. Welcome back to Animanic. I'm doing this solo. That's why the intro is me and not Kiki, because we weren't able to, our schedules didn't match this week, and so to avoid not putting out a podcast again, because I've finally gotten back into the rhythm of doing it, I said, you know what, I'm going to record a podcast for you guys today. It's not going to be the same, it may not be the same length or whatever have you, but I said, you know what, I'm here to try and see if you guys like it. If you do, then that's great. If not, then I'll probably never do this again. Okay, so Hopelessly Animanic, this is your podcast for romantic and hopeless romance, love for anime and manga and all that kind of good stuff for those new people. Those of you that have been listening to the show for a while, you guys know what it's about. And each week we check out an anime or a manga that is romantic in nature, and we talk about it on the show. And so this week, the manga I chose a manga this week because I'm actually reading the manga. And the manga that I'm checking out this week is actually called Fuuka. I came across this manga I was looking up another manga that I was reading before. I can't remember why I was looking it up, but I was doing some research on something, and I came across Fuuka. And she was actually a side character in that other manga that I was reading, which is called Kimi no Irumachi. And now she has her own manga series, and as of this recording, I actually just caught up to the manga's latest serialization. I think it's like 85 chapters or something right now, so I think I'm at chapter 85. Alright, whichever is the latest chapter, if it's 81, if it's 83, as of this particular date, which is the 11th of November 2015. So as of this date, I'm caught up to that particular manga, Fuuka. And what Fuuka is about, it's about this boy named Yu Haruna, and he moves to this new town, but he's sort of an awkward boy, I think the characters start the manga at probably age 16 or 15 or something like that. They're pretty young, because the manga so far, from the beginning to where it's at right now, I think they're about 18. I think they're either 18 or 17, around that age group for the, where it is right now. In that time, I think about 3 years has passed. So that would place him around, let's say about 16 and, or maybe 15. And so Yu is he's a really shy guy. He doesn't really talk much. He's really shy. He doesn't interact with people, and he kind of keeps to himself. Even with his family, he has 3 sisters, and he just doesn't hang out with his sisters at home. He sort of just gets home. His little sister's really energetic and bubbly. His middle sister, she's sort of a pervert, I want to say. I like her though. She's my favorite of the sisters because partially because she spends most of the manga half dressed, and partially because she has that kind of spunk about her. And then he has the older sister who's like in there and loves everyone and takes care of them and all that kind of good stuff. And so he's an oddball. He kind of sticks to himself and he spends a lot of time on Twitter. He's a Twitter fan. He spends a lot of time on Twitter, and he tweets everything that's going on in his life. And he has these people that follow him on Twitter that he has like I think probably 400 and some Twitter followers, I think, according to what it says in the manga. And his Twitter followers seem to like him, and they give him encouragement and all that kind of stuff. So he likes that. He's not able to do that in person because he seems to make mistakes, and people make assumptions about him and so forth. And Yu is actually the main character of this manga, but the manga is called Fuuka. So people wonder, well, why is he the main character if Fuuka is who the manga is named after? And actually, Fuuka is not the main character. It's listed on my anime list that Fuuka is the main character along with Yu, but I would go so far as to say she's not the main character. She is a supporting character to him because somewhere in the story, Fuuka stops being a part. When she starts being a big part of the story, and the focus is primarily on Yu and his progress, his growth as a character. At the beginning, it seems like it's building the growth of Fuuka, but if you notice from where the writer writes, from whose point of view he writes from Yu's point of view. And so he's the main character. I don't see Fuuka as the main character at all, period. But the thing is that the story is, when he meets Fuuka in the story, Fuuka Akitsuki, she's, I think, jumping or something like that in tongue, and he's walking with his phone in his hand, tweeting, and she slips and falls, and as she slips and falls, her skirt kind of is open and everything like that, so she assumes he's taking a panty shot, and so she slaps him, knocks him down, and takes his phone and smashes it on the ground, and then she basically destroys his phone. And he tries to explain, but he says whatever. He takes his phone and he goes to get it. His phone is damaged. He gets a replacement and so forth. The next time he meets her at school, and he's actually on the roof of the school, and he's taking a picture of the surroundings for his Twitter followers. He's like, well, I'm at my new school, and I'm going to take a picture for you guys to see what it's like and all that kind of good stuff. And as he's taking the picture, who does he see on top the kind of incline that they have for the steps or something? It's like a tall thing that she's on top of, but Fuuka. And because of the angle he's at, he's below her. It's like he's taking another panty shot, and so she jumps down and takes his phone and she skies it away from him. She just pelts it out into the distance, and he says, "Oh my God, that's my replacement phone! Damn it!" And he explains himself this time. He's like, I wasn't trying to take a picture of your panties. I was just taking a picture for my Twitter followers." And he runs off to get his phone. She realizes that he's being sincere and follows him, helps him look for the phone, and they become friends from there. So from them becoming friends, he realizes she spends a lot of time with him, and she kind of bosses him around, because he's a really timid guy and she's really energetic, so she bosses him around for the most part at the beginning of the manga, and she gets him to do whatever she wants and so forth. But you can sense this sense of subtle romance building between the two characters. You can see that there's a romance building up. But for me, when I looked at the length at the beginning, when I started reading this manga, and I looked at the length and I saw 80-something chapters, I was like, at the rate this is going, they're gonna end up together way before the manga reaches, its finale. Because I was assuming that was all the chapters, the way in which it was going. It's not actually. It's an ongoing manga, and so I was assuming that this was because of the rate it was going, because their feelings for each other, the romance that was going on between the two characters was escalating at a fast rate. It escalates really fast at the beginning of the manga, and I think by 20 chapters in there, like, you can just feel that tension really strong between the two of them. And I say 20 chapters not knowing exactly how far it is. Each chapter is about, say, 18 pages, so they're not long chapters. At least for an avid manga reader, that's not a long chapter. And so yeah, you can guesstimate for what I would think is probably 20 chapters. It happened really fast to me. And so these two characters have they build this sort of relationship with each other, and they just pass off as we're just friends and so forth. But it escalates really, really fast as the story goes on. And I'm gonna just stop right here just for a moment. I'm just gonna stop here and say, if you guys have not listened to this podcast before, this is your first time listening to Hopelessly Animanic, I'm gonna warn you now, I'm probably gonna spoil a lot of things. And so if you do not want to be spoiling this manga, I'm just gonna give you a short, brief description of it here. And I'll direct you to the website, thebuttonsmashers.com, where I'm going to put a review up on there. And it's also going to be brief, and you can read the review if you want to just get a brief description of what the manga is like and not be spoiled on the story. This manga is basically about you and his group with Fuuka. And for those of you who just want the short, brief description of it, what it is about. It's a romantic manga about these characters who start a band together, and they fall in love, and there's romance and all that kind of good stuff. And there's a love triangle actually between his childhood friend, him and Fuuka. There's a romantic triangle between them, and at the beginning it's kind of like you don't know where it's gonna go. But then for those of us who've read manga for a long time, manga of this nature, you kind of know where it's going to go no matter what. At least you assume that much at the beginning of it. And so that's the basics of the manga. It's a romantic manga of that sort. But it has a lot of twists in it. It has a lot of twists. And this is akin to the type of manga that the author, I think his name is Kouji, right? If you've ever read any manga from him, they're really similar to this. He's written manga like Suzuka, and as I mentioned before, Kimi no Urimachi. I think he's written a few others. If I had to check what he did, I believe he's. I'm gonna check now quickly while because I'm recording here. I'm gonna check. He's published quite a lot of manga actually. It seems he's published, Princess Lucia, Suzuka, something named W's, and there's a lot of others. But the ones I've read Kimi no Urimachi, and I'm gonna start Suzuka now that I've finished. Now that I've caught up, I should say, to Fuuka. And actually, Suzuka, the thing with Kimi no Urimachi and with Suzuka and Fuuka is that they're all connected. I don't know if the other manga that he's written are connected, but these three are connected. The characters, make cameos in each other's manga. And so Suzuka is actually Fuuka's mother. So for those of you who know Suzuka, she's actually the mother of Fuuka from this manga. And so basically it's all his. I love how he writes, because even though he has characters cameoing from different manga, they don't get to a point where it's the same thing. He writes romantic manga. He writes about romance, drama, ecchi, school day shonen, but it doesn't seem the same, because with this one I was thinking, oh my god, this is escalating so fast in comparison to his last one, and with the way this one is going, I'm thinking this is going to be a really short manga, or I don't know how it's going to end, or I'm going to get bored. And I didn't. I spent the entire last 2 days just reading that manga. It was just either work or reading that manga, and that's it. I spent the entire day today just reading that manga. And I think the only thing I did other than read that manga was probably brush my teeth. I think that's the only thing I did today, was probably brush my teeth. Thankfully I was home today, so I spent the day just reading manga in bed for the most part. I haven't even eaten for the day. I actually have food on my desk here that's hot that I need to eat, but I need to get this podcast done. So I want to share this experience that I had with this manga with you guys, because today is the podcast day, and I need to make sure this podcast is up for you beautiful people. So let's see. Fuuka. As I said, for those of you that don't want to get any spoilers, go read the article. It's on the website, thebuttonsmashers.com. It will be up as of this podcast. And if you don't see it up as of this podcast, just give it probably a day, and it will be there. It's already written. I've already written the article. It's a review. of the manga, and I just haven't published it yet as of this, as I'm recording this thing, but I'll have it up for you guys. So what I'm saying here about Fuuka, this, as I said, if you don't want to be spoiled, go check the article and stop at this point of the podcast. If you are okay with being spoiled on some things, then continue listening. Or if you've read this manga before, then continue listening, and you can get the rest of my thoughts on it. Okay, so let's start with what happens after they form the band. So they meet a few friends, and I love the other characters, the other supporting characters in this manga. I really do love them. You know, they're great characters. They accent the type of manga that this is, right? So what I'm gonna do is that I have a list here of all the characters. There's a lot of characters here. I have a list on my screen, and I'm just gonna pick out the main characters here because I did not do that before we started recording. So there's one character. She's actually their guitarist. Her name is Sarah Iwami, and she is actually in the beginning of the story, she's actually a follower of Fuuka on Twitter, and she finds out that he actually goes to her school. How she finds out that who he really is actually really funny. This is after they joined. They are all in the same band, like the first day they're together in a band, and she's like him, awkward, can't deal with people in person and stuff like that, and so she spends all her time on Twitter. And what she does is that they're hanging out at the restaurant, and all his friends leave because they're like, the rest of the band leave. They're like, guess what? We gotta get out of here, and we have things to do and so forth. And so he and her, the only two people there at the table, and she orders an ice cream sundae. And so she has this ice cream sundae, and she takes a picture with her phone and puts it on Twitter, and she's typing, having ice cream sundae with a friend. And all this time, he thinks she hates him because the way in which she talks to him and everything like that, he just thinks she hates him because she doesn't have people skills. When she says something, she just says it blunt, and it comes off harsh, really harsh. And so she's like having ice cream sundae with a friend, and he sees it come up on his Twitter, and he sees the name admin something, I think that's a Twitter handle, and he responds to it. He's like, wow, it would be hilarious if you're sitting opposite me right now, because he's like, he looks at Ashley, and she looks across, and she's like, holy shit, you're the guy, and they start talking, and she starts talking, like really talking to him, and she apologizes for being weird and all that kind of stuff. And I just love it. I just love that interaction between those two characters there. It's really great. Let me see who else is really important to the manga other than Fuuka and you, because the thing is that how it's labeled here, there's a lot of characters, and a lot of these characters, they're not labeled in an order that you can find really, I guess you want to say, really readable, because the order is that they're not in the order of who's important in the manga. It's just characters from the manga, and a lot of these characters, as they said, are side characters from some of the other manga and so forth. And even though I just read the manga, as you guys know, if you're a regular listener of this podcast, I forget names like really fast. And as I've only been reading this for 2 days, I haven't had time to let it marinate yet in my head. So I haven't learned all the characters' names yet. I remembered Sarah Iwami and you and Fuuka because those are my favorite characters so far in the manga. I really like those characters, but I can't remember. There are two other guys that are part of their band. There's one named Nashi. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correct, and I think the other one name is Mikasa. Alright, so we'll start with Mikasa, seeing as he is the one they meet before. He's the first friend that joins the band. And Mikasa is this pretty boy fellow. He has a mixed blood, so he has a mixture of, he has both German and British blood in his heritage. Additional, he has Japanese as well. So he's like, he has a lot of, he has blonde hair, and he's like really pretty, and he's he's a pretty guy, a really pretty guy. And all the girls in school like him and so forth. His classmates like him, and he's really popular and things. But the thing is, and he's really, really good with Fuuka. At the beginning of it, it almost seems like he's gonna be the love triangle between, it's gonna be Fuuka, him, and you. And actually, it doesn't turn out that way. You know, Mikasa is gay. He's the gay character, and he's openly gay. He reminds me of that character we spoke about from I can't remember what's the name of that manga that we read on, that we did on the podcast before. Okay, can't remember the name of it right now. We'll pull it up and we'll mention it as we're going along. But he reminds me of a character from a manga that we did mention on one of our earlier episodes of the podcast. And it's because he's so open about, he's gay, but he's like, hey, I'm gay and I'm okay with it, and he's so cool. I like him. I like the fact, that he does not care what anyone thinks, and he just does whatever he wants. And he's such a supportive friend to Fuuka, especially. And then as he becomes friends with you as the story progresses, he becomes such a supportive friend to him in relations to how he's already a good friend to Fuuka. He's a good friend to you as well. So I really like him. He's probably, I have to say, it's really, even though I have favorite characters, as in any manga anyone ever reads, you always have a favorite character. But alright, so as I was mentioned before, the manga I was talking about is Hanakimi. The doctor in Hanakimi is who I'm talking about. And what I was saying about Mikasa, right? So Mikoto Mikasa. He's fabulously gay. He's awesome. He's a cool character. And if I didn't have other characters that I like so much more, not by much, but if I didn't have other favorite characters, I couldn't pick a favorite character, because all the characters in the manga, all the characters that make a regular appearance are really good. Even the antagonistic characters are really good. And I say really good as in they're just great characters. Then, so he plays the keyboards in their band, and he is, as I say, he's awesome. He's a great character. Each of the characters get a bit of a backstory, at least so far. Each of them have gotten a bit of backstory to them. He's from a very rich family, very important family. The dad owns a company or something like that, and his father wants him to work for his company and marry some girl and have kids and stuff like that. But he's gay, and at one point he kind of gives up, and this is not a big plot hole in the story. This is a big spoiler. I'm gonna just spoil this now for those who, as I said, if you have not read this manga yet, please stop. Please, very much. I'm telling you, if you really want to experience this, you do not want to hear what I'm about to say. So if you've not read this manga yet, please stop. Go read it. It's 80-something chapters. It's not that long. And what I'm about to say is not even 80-something chapters, and it happens probably like chapter 30 or something like that at best. It's at the halfway point. So basically, as I said, I'm gonna give you a moment. If you need to get out of here, if you need to stop now. No, I'm not gonna apologize for this, and trust me, you do not want to know what I'm about to say if you are interested in actually checking out this man. Okay? Alright, good. So none of the people that are not interested, that do not need to know this right now, and are going to start reading, and they'll come back after to listen to the end of this. Fuuka dies in the story. She passes away, and I'm kind of chuckling right now, but it's not funny. Like the way it happens, it's really tragic, and it actually made me want to stop. I was reading it last night, and when it happened, I put the manga down. I was like, no, wait. I punched my bed. I was like, no, you do not do this to me. I punched my bed, put the manga down. I was like, I'm not reading this anymore. I'm done with this. I'm not doing it. No, not happening. And I picked it back up this morning. I was like, you need to finish this manga. I did. And so Fuuka passes away due to an accident, and this happens in the halfway point, and everyone takes a hit from it. The entire band, everyone takes a hit, and one of those characters, who takes it as hard is Makoto. He sort of, I should say Makoto, and his name is Makoto, Makoto, because his sister is Mi, so, and she has the same. It's the same. So she's Mikoto and he's Makoto. So Makoto took it really, really hard, and actually he decided to quit the band. They all did, and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna do what my dad wants. I'm gonna give up on my dreams. I'm gonna give up on what I want, and I'm gonna, do what my dad wants. And that is really, when you see how it happens to everyone, it's really terrible the way it happens to each character. What happens to you is that he takes it the hardest out of everyone, and he just sort of shuts himself out. He doesn't even go to the funeral. He's completely traumatized. He doesn't even want to believe that she passed away, because at that point the two of them are a couple. And at that point they just started dating together. They just confirmed their relationship, and the thing is that it happened so soon after they confirmed their relationship. It's literally probably 2 or 3 chapters after. It breaks you. If you are into romance, this will break you. I mean, it happens so abruptly, so in your face, And I'm so worried to put this into the podcast, because I'm afraid that there are going to be those who are going to say, you know what, I'm brave, I can do this, I'm going to power through this thing, and I'll listen to the rest of this, and then it's going to spoil it for them. I really hope no one does that, though. I hope no one is at this point and did not actually read the manga themselves. So, as I was saying before, he takes it the hardest. He's basically, it's literally, I took it hard as a reader, he took it hard. I think anyone who reads this is gonna take that particular section hard, because it's right when the romance just kicks in and you're like, this is gonna go good. There's gonna be more ecchi, there's gonna be more romantic scenes, there's gonna be some beach chapters, there's gonna be this and that and all that kind of good stuff, and they're gonna go karaoke. And you kind of just already start planning out in your head as what's gonna come next. That's at least what I do when I'm reading romantic, manga. I'm like, they're probably gonna start living together, or maybe he's gonna come over. And if you've read previous mangas from this author, he's not afraid of he's not afraid of tackling subjects like sex and stuff like that. So you're gonna see some mild shagging. It's not gonna be seen any penetration or anything. It's just you're gonna see 2 characters together, sort of. You'll see boobs and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna go good. I'm liking this, and that did not happen. And so, wow, that was a thing. That hit me like, wow. I did not know how to take it after that point. And as I said, I came back to the day after and I finished it. And so, the only other character I need to mention right now that is important is Nachi. And he's also one of the band members. He plays the drums. So you have Fuuka, who's the vocalist. You have Sarah Iwami, who is the guitarist. You have Makoto Mikasa, who is the keyboard player. He plays on the keys. And you have Yu, who is he's actually their bass player. And he turns out to be their vocalist after, because he can't sing. So this is after Fuuka passes away. He becomes their vocalist, at least as of this point. And these characters, they all take it hard when Fuuka passes away, and they all split up. They decide, here's what we're not doing the band anymore. Iwami decides she's going to join another band. Nach decides he's going back to track and field, because he was a track and field person, and basically how he knows Fuuka is that he's been constantly trying to get her to join the track and field team, because both her parents were into track and field, and her dad was a silver medalist. And so basically he's like, it's in your blood, you need to join the track and field. And she actually roped him into joining their band, because his brother used to have him fill in for his band when the brother had a band as a drummer. And so he gets roped in and he starts playing for their band. And after she passes away, he's like, I'm going back to track. and everyone just falls apart. And what happens is that something happens in the story, and you decides to come and bring the band back together. And somehow he does. Somehow he manages to bring them all back together, and it's great. It's glorious. At that point in time, it really does fix. It doesn't fix that Fuuka past, but it does sort of give you that feeling of hope for the future of the manga. And as you keep going and you keep going with it, it just gets it gets better and better and better. And they introduce another character by the name of Fuuka Aoi, and so she's a new character. Has the same first name as the main character, as the main character as the original Fuuka, I guess. So there's a second Fuuka, and she becomes friends with you, and she's very similar to the original Fuuka, but also different in her own way. Like, for example, the original Fuuka was a huge fan of girly music and stuff like that, and this one is she's more hardcore. She's more aggressive and so forth. I guess the similarities between them is that they both like these same keychain plushie, these kind of keychain hanging things with these bunny rabbits. They both like that. They both have short hair. They both like you, because even though at this point Fuuka has not admitted it, the second Fuuka, Aoi, even though Aoi has not admitted it, you can already tell the chick likes him. Like, I don't care whatever, she likes him, and so it hasn't been addressed yet in the story yet as of this point, but she likes him. And they're all fans of this band called the Hedgehogs, who's a band that they all listened to growing up. And the strangest thing is that they become friends with the actual Hedgehogs, because their teacher turns out to be a former member, a member of the Hedgehogs. And so the story it's really good. There's so much characters that are introduced and so forth, and they're well introduced. You get a lot of emotion, a lot of character development, and it's just so good. I don't really find any flaws in this manga. I really can't find any flaws in it. The death happening, it was traumatizing, but I think good manga is manga that makes you feel, especially romantic manga that makes you feel, and it made me feel. I actually cared what happened there. When I read when I read Naruto and Neji died, I didn't feel anything. I know a lot of people did. There are a lot of people who said, "Oh, Neji died." No, I didn't, because Neji didn't have as much plot development in the story. There was nothing about him that I cared about. Were it another character, maybe possibly Lee or something, that did have a lot of build up. There were scenes in the beginning of Naruto and stuff, Neji's backstory, but I just couldn't emote to that character. For some reason, there was just things about him I couldn't emote to. And there's a lot of characters that died in that exact same manga series that I really didn't care about. I couldn't emote to them. And the thing with this one is that I can. I think for someone to read this manga and not emote in the moments when there are things that are going to make you feel, you just have to be inhuman. You have to not have feelings and be a machine and basically just, this is not going to hurt me. Affirmative. Ones and zeros. Beep, beep, boop. It has to be something like that. Because this thing it's a feelings kind of manga, and I love it. I love it because it is a feelings kind of manga. Okay, so this is the basic premise of the manga, and I would like to say more, but I can't really pull anything else out of the top of my head right now that I want to say about it as of where I am in the manga. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you guys a few things that we usually do in the Hopelessly Animanic, which is my favorite characters, who I was shipping, who I am shipping right now, and more or less just give you guys a rundown. So to begin with, my favorite character in the mangas as of this moment is actually the second Fuuka. So Fuuka Aoi is my favorite character as of this moment. Originally, it was the original Fuuka. So Akatsuki Fuuka was my favorite character to begin with. I really like her. She's amazing. I like you as well, though he can be really whiny and bitchy sometimes, and it gets to me. I kind of like, dude, man up, come on. But yeah, he's kind of hard to like sometimes. So I don't want to call him my favorite character. So I'm gonna go with the Fuukas. Both Fuukas are really great. I love the first Fuuka when she was introduced to the story. I love her hair. She has blue hair. She has blue eyes. So I'm like, yes, I love that. I'm a fan of that. If you guys listen to our episode on a manga with we did an anime called A Lot in the Sea, and we spoke about blue eyes, blue eye characters. That's episode 5 of the Hopeless Animanic podcast. So if you want to go back, and if you haven't listened to that one, go back and you hear how much I love blue eyes. And so basically, she has blue eyes, she has blue hair, she's adorable. And the thing I like about this character too is that she's a petite sort of character. She's really petite, not really tall, or whatever have you. She's petite, and she's got moderately nicely looking shaped boobs as a character, I guess, and she has short hair. And this is something that I like in girls that I like. I do like girls that are short, petite, and when they do have short hair, it does fit. I think if a girl is tall and has short hair, it doesn't fit as well, at least for me. Whereas a girl who's more petite, the short hair sort of fits her, and she kind of looks more adorable. And both Fuukas have short hair, so they're just really adorable and really, really cute. Though the first Fuuka is cuter than the second one, at least in my eyes. I think the first one is cuter. She just is. The blue hair, the blue eyes. The second one has a darker hair. It's kind of bluish, and she has darker eyes too. I guess her hair is kind of a purple hair, purple eyes, and I'm not as big a fan of purple as I am blue. So that's my favorite character. As for who I was shipping at the beginning, I was already shipping Fuuka and Yu at the beginning, initially as its title. His childhood friend, who is, I believe her name is, let's see if we can find her name quickly here while we're at it. I know her name is Kyoki, I think? Hishina. Hinashi. Yeah, Kyoki Hinashi, that's her name. And he calls her Tama in the manga. That's what Yu calls her. She calls him Neku. And they get those names from the band that they love, the Hedgehogs, because those are the names of the actual Hedgehogs. The two main, the singer and the bass. So the vocalist and the bass, those are the actual names. And so, as it is, the characters I was shipping, I couldn't find myself shipping Kyoki with Yu or Tama with Yu because she just didn't have I guess for her character, her development with him. She liked him when she was young. She left. She didn't tell him she was leaving because it was too hard. And she said she'll become stronger and she'll be able to smile through adversities. And, she comes back into his life later on. Finds him on Twitter and starts following him. And by that point in time, she's a famous star and, she's an idol and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is that I think two of them just seem too different. They're like from two different worlds. Maybe when they were younger, probably. But now as they are now, they just don't match. I just don't see it. Maybe figured in the manga something may happen and they will. I just don't see them match, and I don't even find her as cute as any of the Fuukas. I don't find her as cute as most of the other characters actually. She's a cute character, she's just not as cute as some of the other characters, and so I just don't match them. They don't fit together for me, and I don't see myself shipping the two of them together, even though they're childhood friends and all that kind of stuff. And the next thing too is that I find she doesn't really seem to fight for him. She's always coward when the moments when she should be bold in his face and be, hey, I'm being bold here. She cowers away, and then she comes back and it's sort of like, hey, I'm being bold now. And I think it's sort of like little too late sort of moments for her. She takes too long basically. Whereas the Fuukas, they don't really come out and say, hey, I'm really into you. But they express it in the way they treat him. They like something happens to him, they're the first to be there. They find out they're the first to be there for him. Whereas she'll find out later down the line or whatever have you. And they're always around him. The Fuuka characters are always around him. And whereas she is from she's from a different world. Kyoki is basically she's this star, he's not a star yet. from a different world from him, and even when they try to hang out and stuff like that, bad things happen. It causes controversy, gossip, all these sort of things that affect both of them. And so I just don't see the two of them together now. Maybe further down the manga, maybe that could happen, but no. I see him he was with the first Fuuka, so that I got my wish, and so then my wish was taken away from me, which is terrible. And then he's with the second Fuuka. Well, he's not with the second Fuuka now, but I know he's gonna end up with her. I just see it, and that would be really cool. I know Iwani likes him. Iwami, she likes him, and it shows, because there's even a scene where he's asking her about when do you kiss someone. This is after he and Fuuka become a couple, and this is what I love about Fuuka, because she just takes the initiative. When he's wondering like, hey, should I kiss her and all that kind of stuff, and he goes to all his friends for advice, and they're like giving him all the advice. And when he's asking Iwami for advice, she's sort of like, oh my god, she's thinking like, oh my god, he wants to kiss me. And she's like, you can do whatever. And he's sort of pushed up against her on a wall, so because people are running past and he gets bumped, and so he's pushed up against her on a wall. And so she's like, it's gonna happen, and she's all red in the face and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just loving that. That's the kind of stuff you just want. But then he just leaves her and goes to the roof to meet Fuuka. And he's climbing up this ladder here to talk to Fuuka, and then he kind of chickens out because he's a bitch. And then Fuuka just leans over and kisses him, smack in the lip. It's just like, that's what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh yeah, this is beautiful. This is what I love. I love that about the first Fuuka. She takes initiative. The second one doesn't take it as much, but she does at some points in time. And I do want to see some romance develop between the two of them. I do want to see them together. That would be beautiful. Alright, so I think that's it. I think I've shipped my characters. I've given you guys my take on who are my favorite characters in the manga. If I had to give it a rating, I would call this manga a 10 out of 10. It is that good. It is really, really good. That's actually my rating I have on my anime list. And I put that rating up before I had finished. And I stand by that rating because the manga is just that good. It is that good. So highly recommend it for those of you that love romantic stories. It's good. I don't think there's an anime for it. I haven't seen one. I've been looking to see if there is one, and I cannot find one. So I'm gonna just say, guys, I don't think there's an anime for it. That's okay though. I mean, do we need anime for manga? This manga is so well written, it's so well illustrated that you don't need a manga for it. I don't think you need you don't need an anime for it. If you want to check out the prequel to it, because there's a prequel to this, which is Suzuka, which is the story of Fuuka's mother, then you can read the prequel, which I'm going to probably start soon. I'm probably going to read that during the end half of this week. I'm not going to jump into it immediately because Fuuka's already absorbed so much of my time, and the same happened when I read Kimi no Urimachi. So I am very skeptical of jumping into Suzuka as of now. I'm really, really skeptical to jump into that one yet. So I'm going to give it some time. It's on my to-read list, and I will start that one probably like later on in the week or something like that, because I do have room to get it. And when I start a manga like that, that's so good, I just can't put it down. So I highly recommend Fuuka. I think you guys would love it if you love romance. And if you guys listen to this, and of course you love romance. So go check out Fuuka if you haven't already. Well, if you're at this point in in this chapter, in this podcast, then you should have already listened, or you should have already read the manga, because of the fact that I did say don't go past the spoilery part unless of course you've actually read it before. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Fuuka's Animanic, for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. I know it's not the same as you guys expect it to be. Hopefully by next week we'll be back on track with everything being the same as usual. And with that, I'd just like to say, guys, if you guys enjoy this podcast, make sure to go to the website, thebuttonsmashers.com. It's a great website where you'll find a lot of other podcasts like this one, some about gaming, some about, other stuff. And make sure to, if you like this podcast on iTunes, make sure to like and rate it and share it with other people, because it does help out the show. It does help more people reach the podcast and find out about it and so forth. So guys, as usual, as we usually end this podcast, it has been awkward. It has been romantic. It has been hopelessly animanic. It's a wrap, guys.